Among those at the top of the list is Nigeria. Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation, the biggest economy as well, but it has now slipped to fourth place. This slide is often linked to President Bola Tinubu, his economic policies, and his reputation for corruption. Tinubu recently featured on a list, the list of the most corrupt leaders in the world. The winner was former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. He was followed by Kenya's William Ruto. But Tinubu made the top 5. Now, I must clarify here that these rankings were sourced from the public. There wasn't a scientific formula involved. It was about public perception, and Tinubu is perceived to be extremely corrupt. So is his government. There are a number of reasons for this. Let me show you some of the latest examples, starting with the government. Nigeria has an anti-corruption agency. It is called the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. This is Nigeria's watchdog. Its job is to tackle corruption, and technically they're doing that, but at home. Let's show you today's major headline. The EFCC has detained 10 of its own over some missing items. This statement was put out by the agency. You'll notice that they said some operational items could not be accounted for. Okay, that sounds like some missing equipment. But then the Nigerian press dug a little deeper, and it turns out that the operational items were jewelry and cash worth $350,000 to $400,000. What operations were they pulling off with all that jewelry? 10 EFCC officers were detained in Lagos. They are apparently answering questions. That is all that the commission has revealed. They haven't told the public who the corrupt officers are. I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but the very same commission usually does not follow this. They happily share the names of under trials, but suddenly the agency is shy about revealing the names of its own officers. And this has been quite a bad week for them. They were forced to make another announcement on Monday, telling the people that 27 other officers had been dismissed for fraudulent activities and misconduct. This is not a great look for Nigeria's anti-graft watchdog, and definitely not a good look for the Tinubu government. Bola Tinubu is 72 years old. He's been around for a while. He's a seasoned politician. So as you would expect, he has been linked to a number of scandals over the decades. One of the worst involved drug dealing. Tinubu allegedly held money from drug trafficking in his accounts. This was according to the US Justice Department. Tinubu, of course, never accepted the charges, but he did pay out a settlement worth $460,000. Now, these charges are old. No final verdict was reached. So let's put them aside for now. After all, people can supposedly change. So what has Tinubu been up to recently since he became president? Well, he was caught up in a fake diploma scandal for a while. There were allegedly some errors in his college certificate. Okay, mistakes happen. Moving on. Then there was a major scandal involving a highway. Tinubu issued a $13 billion government contract to a company co-owned by his son. Tinubu is quite the caring father, apparently, but alas, most people do not see it that way. That is why he made it to the top 5 in the Corrupt Person of the Year award. The perception is quite prevalent, and reports say that he is quite vexed. He's even hired American lobbyists to clean up his image. He's reportedly paying them $2.7 million, though I wonder, is he paying from his own pocket or Nigeria's treasury? I suppose we'll find out eventually.
This government, currently generation companies, hold on to your seats, about 6.8 trillion naira, with roughly 70% of the amount relating to thermal plants. So the government is owing them 6.8 trillion, and then the seat of power, the head of government, has gone off the national grid, used our own money and resources to install solar whatever, and bound the rest of us to the Philistines. About 70% of whatever the government owes gas-fired power plants belongs to gas suppliers, meaning that gas companies are owed about 3.3 trillion out of the 4.76 trillion naira tied to thermal generation. Ogaji disclosed that suppliers have informed generation companies that they will no longer supply gas to power plants unless payments are made. NBET is set up to buy power from Gencos and sell to Discos. The aim is that as they buy power, they will pay in full. But since 2013 till today, they've never paid in full. So this debt is now 6.8 trillion. Providing a breakdown of the debt, Ogaji stated that the liabilities have grown significantly over time. Now listen to this carefully. From 2015 to December 2024, the debt profile grew to 4 trillion. In each month of 2025, there is a shortfall of 200 billion. So if you calculate 200 billion times 12, that is 2.4 trillion, making the whole debt 6.4. Who will save this country from these embarrassing news that we have to dish out to you during Ramadan, Ramadan, and during Lent in this heat? Ibulawa Jasibai.
I have made it very clear even before this video you're referring to. I have made it very clear even before this video you're from Tracy Nicholas O'Leary that the struggle involving Tracy was a struggle about stopping police abuse. That the police has no right to go bundle somebody from Lagos to Abuja, harass her, or bring her into the room in front of a powerful adversary. So it was a struggle between the weak and the strong, and I was aligned with the weak. Now, for those of you who may not understand, I'd also always insisted that it's a civil case. And now the minister has gone the civil route. What is civil route? He approached Tracy, that's Omoye, David Omoye, and settled her. They had a settlement, legal settlement, not a police case, civil settlement. And from what I learned, he paid her 110 million naira to make a video that is favorable to him. It is called civil settlement in court. That's what I heard. I wasn't part of it because I made it clear that I'm not going to get myself involved beyond the police aspect of things. So question to ask yourself, if you're not guilty of all these allegations, why invest 110 million naira to just let it go away? So, of course, the answer, as they say, is blowing in the wind. But I'm not here to discuss that because I know that the moment the video came out, everybody's like, oh, maybe he should disappoint. No, you can't disappoint me. Before I deal with anyone at all, before I fight for anyone, I'd already taken into consideration that they could go the other way. So I never supported Tracy because I thought she was strong. I supported her because I thought she was weak. So you can consider this as part of her weaknesses. But again, you know how it came about. There's a settlement between the minister and Tracy.
So since it's more like a settlement, does this mean that David Omoye is innocent, or is something more troubling happening behind the scene?
Oh, for me, it's trouble in paradise. Because it means that David Omoye had weighed all his options and discovered that without the settlement, it's going to go down. Second, where did David Omoye, a minister that's earning less than 25 million naira a year, get 110 million naira to settle just one case? And I'm aware he also settled with a former classmate of his who accused him of owing him 7 million. Maybe he's already trying to settle the Nilan engineers who are also now asking for the remains of the engineers that went to see him that disappeared today. So it tells you that David Omoye has been involved in egregious violations of human rights and a lot of immoral acts. But unfortunately, instead of the system asking him to be accountable, the system is now using your taxpayers' money to pay off his accusers. That's where we are, which is sad.
You have investigated powerful men in Nigeria for decades now. In your experience, when a victim retracts, is it usually due to a false story or pressure from the system?
I'm not a lawyer, but I've tried to explain to you, it's not a retraction. Anytime people engage in settlements in a civil dispute, both sides will have conditions attached to it. So this is David Omoye buying so-called for 110 million naira. And when you pay, you detect the content of the video as well. That's what I heard. I don't have, the records of their life, but I'm close enough to the lawyers involved. And don't forget that this involved some senators. Actually, 2 female senators were involved in negotiation to get David Mahi to, because I think David Mahi was a former senator, is that correct? So I'm aware that Tracy had meetings with Senator Ireti Kenjibe over the issue. She was part of the protest today. I also heard Natasha Akpoti also met with Tracy to discuss how to settle this matter. So I don't know who other persons were, but I'm just telling you transparently what happened. That is a settlement. I'm sure it was a settlement.
Several times you have been arrested and silenced and jailed, yet you did not react or you did not even stop. Why do you think Tracy Ohibi could not hold her ground like she always does?
I just said, in intervening in her matter, the philosophical understanding is that we are rescuing a weak person from a strong person. So if people are traditionally weak and vulnerable, you cannot expect them to behave like Winnie Mandela. Even Winnie Mandela at the point caved in. So, but again, this conversation is not about Tracy's. It's a conversation about principle as to why we were involved in ensuring that David Mahi, who already has claimed that he's the most powerful and richest and most dangerous minister, did not roll over Tracy Nita Ohiori in this last fight. So that's where we are.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Ruben Abati, and it's disturbing that when we had the opportunity of holding the conversation on February 10 this year, which is a month plus ago, we did draw attention to all these issues and noted that we have these hurdles that we're going to cross. Unfortunately, some apologists gave the feedback and said we were speculating. Not just that we were speculating, that we were not patriotic, and some even went to the extent of claiming that we were trying to bring strange variables into the dynamics. Unfortunately, the chicken has come home to roost. On that February 10, I used a phrase which some of them came back to say were too strong to have been used, that we were operating a dysfunctional diplomatic practice, foreign affairs management, and the presidency of the Nigerian state. And you will recall that on that occasion, we cautioned and pleaded with the incumbent special advisor on information, that is our brother Bayo Ononuga, to be kindly mindful of the way he issues statements. One of the statements that came out from him, which has again irritated and exacerbated the issues, has to do with the fact that you do not publicize the names and the postings of any ambassador designate until such an ambassador designate has undergone the induction course. Painfully, that was done. And in that same instrument that he issued on behalf of the presidency of the Nigerian state, he drew attention to the fact that they had only received agreement concerning 2 of those ambassadors designates, which in itself was given a pointer to other stakeholders to know that they too can decide not to do the needful of granting the agreement that will allow these men and women to report at their duty posts. We use the phrase dysfunctional presidency because ideally you would have expected Ambassador Shola Enikonolaye, that is a senior special assistant to the president on foreign affairs, to have helped to moderate the issues by ensuring that the statement that will come out from Bayo Ononuga was going to be kind enough to toe the line in such a way that it will only reveal that which needed to be revealed. And ideally, the information in terms of the actual postings ought not to be issued from the presidency, from the villa. It ought to have been issued from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, meaning that we have a gap between the presidency and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The idea of we operating a dysfunctional system is causing us a lot of embarrassment, to say the least. You will recall, and I can be fact-checked on this, when this administration started and introduced the 4D trajectory for the foreign policy of the Nigerian state, critics did draw attention to the fact that it was not properly consummated, and Professor Mimiko did a great piece on that. And Professor Hassan Saliu of University of Ilorin did his digest in 2025 to reflect on the way the foreign policy system and the foreign affairs diplomatic practice of the Nigerian state has been managed. And it discovered that there was a gap and a misconception that they can do a presidential diplomatic shuttle. You only can do a presidential diplomatic shuttle when you have a president who either to add a one-on-one relationship with a number of other heads of states, his brother heads of state, before he assumed office, like we had with President Olusegun Obasanjo, who was able to hit the ground running and did a number of things that helped to restore the image of Nigeria. Now we have this challenge wherein we discovered last time we discussed this matter that people appear not to have been reading the Vienna Convention of 1961. And we noted that it is not just for you to read the Vienna Convention, you add other instruments that had come out from this Vienna Convention that is dealing with the nuances. And that is where we mentioned, specifically, we mentioned that you cannot easily deploy any ambassador when you have less than 2 years to the end of the tenure of the administration. Two, we discovered that we did caution that you do not recall ambassadors or leave any diplomatic mission for more than 90 days without an ambassador in situ. Painfully, Nigeria has fallen prey to committing a number of these gaffes, and it is unfortunate that we can claim that we have a functional Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We can now claim that whether we should now be saying congratulations to these ambassador designates that can now see when people are pleading that let us have a functional system, let the structure and systems be operated based on the rules of procedure and allow things to work. Again, may I commiserate with President Commander-in-Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he has people around him that cannot tell him the truth to his face.
All right.
The truth that needed to have been told to his face was the fact that he could not recall ambassadors and not appoint within 90 days.
By bandits. They came around 1 a.m. at night. This lady woke up one morning and received a phone call that her entire family has just been kidnapped by bandits. They came around 1 a.m. at night. They broke into their family's house and took the entire family. The dad was too tired to work and they began to slaughter him. This is her story. Like, how many were there?
There are like 15 in our own compound.
The people that came?
Yes.
Oh.
And they are very small boys from 17, 18 years old. My dad is sick and cannot walk. So when they got to the gates, one of them was saying that he's going to delay them, that the guy should shoot him. The other one said if they shoot him, people will hear the sound of the bullet, so they should just cut him. So they used their cutlass. They were trying to hit him on the head, then he raised his hand and the cutlass cut him by the side of his rib. It's very painful. I'm still mourning my mom. So then this.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Ma, we saw a video you posted that Fulani herdsmen came to your house 1 a.m. at night and kidnapped every member of your family. Can you tell the viewers your story? What exactly happened that day and how has it been ever since?
Okay. On 17th, 11 to 12 midnight, right on 17th January 2026 to 18th January 1 a.m. in the midnight, I got a flash rather from my younger brother. So I was awake, I could not sleep that particular day. So when I saw the call, I immediately called back. And when he picked, he was saying, Auntie, I did inside ceiling. Kidnappers near our house, kidnappers near our house. Then he hanged up. So I tried to call again. The number was not going through. I tried the second time, it was ringing and it was not picking. So later on, I think around to 2 or so, he called me back and was saying they're at the hospital. What happened? That Fulani came to the house, almost 15 of them. They tried to open his door. And when he heard them speaking Fulani, they opened because I have 3 brothers. They opened Ima's door. When he heard that Ima has followed through the ceiling, he himself also followed through the ceiling. And even one of the Fulani guy followed him to the ceiling. And they fought and he pushed the guy down. Only for him to call me and said they picked my brother's wife, the son, who is 8 years old, David, and my adopted sister, Josephine, she's 14. So, and my dad also. So my dad is sick and cannot walk. So when they got to the gates, one of them was saying that he's going to delay them, that the guy should shoot him, according to my dad. He said the other Fulani guy said they should shoot him. Why the other one said if they shoot him, people will hear the sound of the bullet, so they should just cut him. So they used their cutlass. They tried to hit him on the head, then he raised his hand and the cutlass cut him by the side of his rib. So he has been in the hospital while they went to the bush with my sister, my brother's wife, and the rest of my family. They also entered our neighbor's house and took his wife. She has a 2-month-old baby. They took her and left the baby. So the next morning, on Monday, they called in the afternoon and they were demanding for 100 million.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Yes.
So how did people respond to that request?
We don't have that amount of money. Even if we sell my father's house, we don't have that kind of money. So we just told them, okay, because we don't want to trigger them. We don't want to say anything that would get them angry. So we just said, okay, we'll try and look for the money. So 2 days later, they called again to ask if we've gotten the money. And we said, no, we've not gotten the money yet, but we've put some of our properties for sale. So whatever we are able to get, we'll let them know. They said, okay. 3 days later, they called again. We're pleading that we don't have that kind of money. They were still in on the 100 million. And they hung up. They didn't call again till last week when they called. And whenever they call, my brother records the call.
So did you report to security agency like DSS?
I base in Abuja. I work in Abuja while my parents stay in Kaduna. So when the incident happened, they called me. I was supposed to travel the next day. That's morning of the Sunday that incident happened. But my brothers were telling me not to come. Maybe they were looking for me. Because when they came in, they went to my room and broke the door. So they told me not to come that Sunday. On Monday, the same thing. They refused me coming. My neighbors, if I call, my brother will give them phone. No, don't come, please don't come. Maybe these people are looking for you. Tuesday, the same thing. It was on Wednesday that I traveled to go and see my people, and that's just it.
So what exactly is the family's plan now? And when last did you hear from those kidnappers?
They called yesterday, which was 2nd of February. They called and they're telling us that my brother's wife is sick. The son is sick also, and that they reduced the money to 30 million. If we can bring 30 million, they would release them. And they are standing on their ground for the 30 million. Because my brother even tried to beg them for 1 million. We don't have, but let's just say 1 million. They insulted the hell out of my family, my dad, insulted everybody. We have the records.
So what do you plan to do right now? What's your family plan?
I don't know, because I lost my mom November 19, 2025, just 2 months before this incident. She had cancer, so I really spent a lot of money. All my savings, everything were gone. So I'm just even trying to recover before this incident happened. So for now, we don't have anything. We don't have anything. The properties in my house, I try to sell them, but the prices that people are giving, it's nothing to write home about. Even the cushions in our house there in Kaduna, I told my dad to sell them, the freezers to sell everything. And the person that came to buy them was just pricing them anyhow. So my dad just said they should leave it. So we've been trying, begging friends, calling 1 or 2 persons to help out. So we're just relying on what people will help us with. For now, we don't have anything tangible.
So people have not been able to even raise any money?
On my own, I've been able to raise 300,000 on my own. But my brother's wife's family, for now, I don't know how much they've raised yet, because they're also complaining that there's nothing to sell. They don't have anything at hand, no money. So the only money we have with my family and my in-laws' family is just 300,000 for now.
Oh, this is serious. So 30 million naira, 300,000. What do you think will be the fate of those people if this money is not being, if people don't give them this money?
I don't know, but at this point, I'm even scared because these people are very mean. My dad is old. He's very old, and if they can butcher an elderly man like that, there's nothing they can do. They even went as far as they caught my younger brother, Emmanuel, the one that follows me. So while he was trying to escape, they butchered him, they cut his hand, his back, but he managed to escape. So there's nothing those people can do. There's nothing that they cannot do.
This is really sad, though, honestly. The rate of kidnapping in Nigeria is really alarming. And the way these people do it effortlessly. They came 1 a.m. at night.
Yes.
When everybody was sleeping.
Yes.
They broke the door.
Even the walls of our house. When they came, according to my dad, he said when they came, they went to his window, they broke the window, and they told him to go and open the door. They told him if he doesn't open the door and they managed to open it, that they will kill him. So he just stood up and went and opened the door for them to come in. Yes. So he said they tied him up, they ransacked the house, packed most of my belongings, my blankets, my clothes. My brother's wife, the sales, because she sells buns, she's a tailor, and she does some menial jobs. So they packed all the money. They ransacked our house and packed. They made away with a lot of things, even rice and beans. You know.
Like how many were there?
My brother said there are like 15 in our own compound.
The people that came?
Yes.
Oh.
And they are very small boys from 17, 18 years old.
15 of them?
In our compound. Then
Jesus. How can anybody escape that kind of thing?
The other man that they carried his wife, he said there are like 10 that entered this compound.
Okay, they were going from house to house that night?
Yes. So the only ones they were able to succeed was just my family and the other man that they took his wife.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ. Mo, how do you feel right now? Like, what's your state of mind at the moment?
I'm in pain, but I'm somebody that don't like to look like my problems, because at the end of the day, it's still there. You know, losing your mom, and just 2 months after, your family are kidnapped. And my brother's wife is this special soul to me, because since I lost my dad, since I lost my mom rather, she has been the one taking care of her dad. She's the one staying with him, so she does virtually everything. So I'm mentally not okay. Emotionally wise, I'm not okay. But I just have to put on the smile. You know. It's very painful. I'm still mourning my mom. So then this.
Sorry.
Thank you.
God, this is really serious. So who else is aware of? Is the community people aware? The government aware? I want to know.
Yes. When the incident happened the next day, police officers of that area, they came, collected my dad's name and the other ones that they took, and our neighbor's wife too. They went to their house, and that's all for now. We've not heard anything again. That incident that happened in Kaduna, that Kajuru kidnapping, the one they kidnapped in the church, 177 persons. It happened on the 11th, while ours happened on the 18th. So kidnapping is becoming too rampant in Kaduna State. Seriously, it is. And even 2 days after they came to our house, they still entered that same area.
Invited Trump to Nigeria to come and help us. When Trump responded, their blueprint that none of the soldiers of the United States should come to Plateau State. They redirect their attention to Sokoto, where the Muslim dominant area, the Muslims are enjoying the coming of Trump. If I were allowed to say Trump is in Nigeria to protect the Muslim. Another batch in Maiduguri. Another batch. Is it Kaduna, Bauchi? Kwara. No batch is there. The Yoruba people are being killed like chicken. Benue. No army is there. That is Sultan roadmap to wipe out Plato's Christian. Other Christian in Nigeria. It's Islamic agenda. To make sure that nobody stands for us. It has come to the time we have to stand and defend ourselves to death.
To you and I. But you see, they are sending a message to you and I. By showcasing those children before the public, they are sending a message that they have fighters who are coming up, who will continue from where they started. Because I remember one of them saying it the other time that if you kill 10 of them, that 20 will replace them.
Yes.
Yes, he said it.
Yes.
So that will tell you where that was. It the US that called that one? Look, this thing is like a Hydra-headed problem. Except you cut off the head, this thing will persist. You see, they are sending a message to you and I.
Ọmọ gbowó ẹ ṣáà rí ó ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ rè fún ọlọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ wọn gbowó ẹ ṣàdúrà fàlágà wa.
orúkọ tèmi wáyé dáadáa ó ṣeun lẹ́sìn
Àmín.
èyí tó ṣe kọjá rẹ̀ àtúnṣe
Àmín. Ẹ ṣàdúrà fàṣíwájú.
ẹ síwájú náà kò ní lè rè
Àmín. Ẹ ṣáà ti rí i. Bọ̀dé bá aṣáájú lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i nǹkan ṣe ìrírí o.
Now, you see in that video, you see the package, Ramadan Kareem, which means they are giving it to Muslim people, right? But you see that man, it's not Muslim because he ended the prayer with Ni Oruko Jesu Oluwa Ami. So he dressed like a Muslim to go and collect the Ramadan package. He even wore the cap. I mean, men looking at him, I even thought he was a Muslim until he was praying for Asiwaju and he said, Ni Oruko Jesu Oluwa. And this is it. When I say Nigeria is a very poor country, I've heard a whole lot of people say Nigeria is not rich, but Nigeria is poor. How do you know Nigeria is poor? I posted a video 2 weeks ago saying that if you drive a car of 600 million or 800 million, 400 million, you should pay your kids, your driver very well. And up to now, I mean, I've posted that video. I think that video is my video that has the highest view. Up to now, people are still commenting on that video. That video has the highest comments on all my video. How much you want me I pay gate man? How much you want me I pay security? How much you want me I pay driver? To tell you that we are poor. Because some people cannot fathom me that you can pay a driver 400K. Do you know how hard it is that you cannot fathom me that you can pay a driver 400K? They say 50K, don't do. Waiting driver. Now, this is a country where the minimum rent now, even in a bad area, is like 250,000 naira, right? Minimum rent now is like 250. I mean, when I was staying in a 2-bed in Igondo that year, I used to pay 180K for 2-bedroom. And I'm not talking 10 years ago, I'm saying 2020. 2020, that was 6 years ago, I was paying 180,000 naira. And now, 2-bedroom flat now is high as 3 million naira. That's almost 2,000 increments, 2,000%. You get? So, for a country that the minimum rent is like 200K, 250K, and you are telling me that you are going to pay a driver 50K, how do you want him to survive? Because obviously, your driver cannot be an 18-year-old person. Your driver cannot be a 14-year-old person. Your driver cannot be a 20-year-old person. It has to be like 24, 25. So how do you want him to survive? And when you come out and tell people that we are poor, some people will still want to argue how rich we are. I mean, it's high time you start believing that we are poor so that maybe our consciousness can actually drag us from this poor contraption that we are poor. But you still want to argue that we are rich. Now, you see, the government, they make people so poor that they can't even afford food. So what do? They put food inside carton, rice, spaghetti, Maggi, everything in that carton that man is carrying. It's not up to 40,000 naira. No cap. It's not up to 40K. It's not up to 40K. Jesus. It's not as if that carton they are going to be giving them every week. It's not as if that carton they are going to be giving them every month. That carton is maybe once in like 6, maybe it's only this Ramadan period that they are going to share that carton. That thing is not up to 40. I don't want to know because it's not basmati rice that is inside. It is normal rice. Maybe 10 kg. It's not even up to 10 kg. That whole box is like 10. So let's say like 5 kg. In Boku, that shit is like 7,500 naira. And spaghetti and oil. Everything is not up to 40K. See that old man bent. If his children are working and they are earning money, if he himself is collecting his pension and is earning money, do you think that man in his state that is so is bending, is almost crushing from the weight of that thing? Do you think that man will go and collect that thing? Hero.
It says,
says a member of the Senate or the House of Representatives shall vacate his seat in the House of which he is a member. Right? And I go straight to relevant subsection here, which is G. And it reads as follows. A person whose election to the House was sponsored by one political party, Section 68G, sub G. G as in Gabriel. He becomes a member of any other political party before the expiration of the period for which that house was elected, provided that his membership of the latter political party is not as a result of a division, which is applicable to ABGA, as far as I know, except when Ume provides otherwise. In the political party of which he was previously a member, or a merger, just as we did in APC when it was formed, of two or more political parties or factions, by one of which he was previously sponsored. So this was, this section implies that once you change your party and you are not in conformity with this subsection, then the Senate president will be the one to tell you you are no longer a senator.
Project I would have seen Wando. And what is this? You can see him commissioning all these beautiful houses in Abuja. But do you know the people he built those houses for? You know, when you go vote and then your vote, you feel like it did not count. And then you start saying, we're going to take it to court. The people who are deciding whether your vote counted are the people that he built these houses for. And I can't lie, I've never seen Wicked take any project this seriously. 2027 is going to be so long, I'm telling you. Remember year 2023. Tinubu was not even president, but you see how much he was able to coax all but the INEC, the judiciary. Everybody did not want to see any reason. So long as everybody is receiving their alert, boom, whatever they say we should say, we are going to say. Baba went to go and now say, whilst we're in government, we are going to give you guys houses. And we are going to make sure your houses are well ready just before the 2027 election. Oh, yes. Why? Because they know that whatever is going to happen there is probably going to end up in court. And when it ends up in court, the people who are going to make the decisions are the people who are going to own these beautiful houses you're seeing. But then, on the other note, what did we see yesterday? We saw renewed hope. They were going to share the normal stuff that they would normally do to poor people. Oh yes, things like this. If you don't understand Yoruba, what the lady was saying there is anybody who's going to go against this government being re-elected in year 2027, you are going to die an untimely death. Yes, that's what she was saying. You can see how a whole bunch of them were just happy carrying that box. And when you look at the content of that box, it's probably no more than $25 for the next 4 years. You see, when they say they would always depend on this whole poverty, they would always depend on religion, they would depend on, these cultural differences. This is the only way they can win. And Nigerians, I'm telling you, year 2027, if you think your vote is going to be where it ends, you're just going to vote and go. I'm telling you, you may have to start rethinking your decisions because these people are not here to joke. I'm telling you, it's so sad that a whole bunch of our future has been taken by these people who have enjoyed their future and are still enjoying some more future. Guys, I don't know how to explain it, but bro, your kid that you are giving birth to right now, these people have taken their future already. If you want to decide to say, I am Nigerian and I'm going to stay in Nigeria, the earlier you start fighting for your kids, the better. Because the fact is, yours is nearly gone. This is fact. Hey, God.
Kubo has made it openly, have declared his my country people, Asada Kubo has made it openly, have declared himself that he is a jihad, and that is the reason why he is buying Igbos. What is the duty of a jihad? The duty of a jihad is to fight for Allah and to protect Allah. In this case now, to buy infidels. And who are the infidels in Nigeria? They are no people than the Christians, and the majorities are Biafrans. They will never allow Biafrans to go, because if they allow Biafra to go, it will be impossible for them to conquer Nigeria and to Islamatize everybody. So his duty is to make sure that we remain one, then they will conquer everybody together. They will win you for their Allah. You get why? That's why I told you to follow this page, so that you will be hearing information. If you're a
to the city of Abuja in my life, the year 2007. Shortly after my secondary education, I came here to live with an auntie. The Abuja I met us at that time had a lot of green spaces, had a lot of trees planted along the road. All of the street lights were working. The roads were smooth. The interchanges was amazing. Everything about Abuja resonated. In fact, one of my dreams was to live in Abuja. I came back to Abuja again last night. This is the year 2026, March 2026. The Abuja I now see now is worse than the Abuja I saw in 2007. I went to a place, I think they call it 5th Avenue in Gwarimpa. They sell food there, to buy food yesterday. The whole place was chaotic. The Abuja of 2007, you will not find people shading along the road. You will not find people trading on walkways. You will not find markets in, undesignated places. You will not find cars stopping everywhere. They had those big green buses, they call them 5 bus then. And those buses had specific places where they pick and drop passengers. It was an organized system. The Abuja I'm seeing today is pure chaos. Everything is everywhere and nobody is controlling anything. When I first came to Abuja in 2007, you will never see a police checkpoint. It did not exist. There was no police checkpoint. You will see the policemen packed with their fine e-locks and fine uniforms. Then, their uniform starts looking very good. Parked by the side of the road under a tree. Their e-locks is there. You see 5 policemen inside the vehicle. There is no 3 kilometers we move that you will not see that kind of police presence. They were not on the road. There was no roadblock. They were not harassing anybody. Today, yesterday night, I passed through at least 3 police checkpoints from Gwarimpa to this place. The question I am asking is, how come a capital that was planned from the beginning, a capital that is just less than 32 years or 33 years old, is already falling apart from its seams? The street lights don't work. The street lights, if you find the one that is working, you will just see the light up. It does not touch the ground. Our quality, our standard has kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Today, we don't even have a capital we can be proud of. This is the same Abuja now that they are breaking out of prisons. They broke out of Kuje prison the other day. This is the same Abuja that bandits are operating at the end. It's like bandits have surrounded the city. So you can literally get picked up in this city now. This is the same Abuja that they are now robbing in people's houses. This same Abuja that as at that time, you will not hear. It simply did not exist. Why are we falling behind? My question, the whole essence of this video is, we are supposed to be making incremental progress, no matter how little. Why are we falling behind?
Reportedly giving Nigeria 30 days ultimatum, yes, to pay. China has reportedly given Nigeria 30 days ultimatum, yes, to pay an $11.4 million satellite debt. Now, if the money is not paid, the satellites could be shut down. Now, satellites for telecommunications, TV broadcasting, internet connections, and some government communication systems, yes, could be shut down in 30 days if Nigeria did not pay the $11.4 million debts. Yes, And you guys know that internet are extremely important, right? They are very, very important in Nigeria. So guys, how do we come up with this amount of money? How is Nigeria going to pay this money within 30 days? 30 days. Well, according to the news, experts say a total shutdown is unlikely because governments usually negotiate or settle the debts before services are cut off. Yes, but guys, what if we did not pay? How will it look like? That a big country like Nigeria, giant of Africa, does not have internet connection, does not have satellites. What do you think about this? What do you think? You heard the amounts the governors are sharing, Abi, every month, Abi, on a daily basis. Did you hear that? Now, look at this. Your thoughts on this?
What would you say to the man who shot you in the face and took your eyes if they were standing here right now?
If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck.
Like, we're just finding out about Nigeria now.
They are trying to cleanse the land of Christians.
The community is 99% Christian.
They ambush us and kill us.
These are children.
They started shouting, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Where was this 10 years ago? Why didn't I know about this 5 years ago? And so I feel like I'm done talking about it. It's time to just go.
I don't really know what to expect. What I've heard, it's pretty horrific.
And then I called my wife and I literally said, I don't know that I can do another week of this.
I mean, he's 7 years old.
He is the most hunted man in Nigeria right now.
Have you been able to forgive that man who did this to you?
There is a level of persecution, and I have no category for that. She was literally held at gunpoint, either deny your Jesus or we're going to kill you. That faith is a picture of what it looks like to follow Jesus.
What is your prayer for Nigeria?
Let peace reign in Nigeria.
For Tinubu, but I believed in him. I never voted for Tinubu, but I believed in him partially then. Because he had this confidence that I thought Nigeria needed to fight the Westerners so that they can fucking leave us alone. Because then I thought Nigeria was never a country, but a company to the white people. Now it's been 4 years. It's going to 4 years. Tinubu is now the worst president that has ever happened to Nigeria. He failed woefully. This boils down to my question. What is happening at the top that we don't know? In the last 66 years, since independence, we've had 16 presidents now. And all of them behave exactly the same. Because you can't keep on telling me that it's corruption, it's money they want, it's money they want. Bro, money is the cheapest thing in power. And even though it's not, 16 presidents, they all act the same. None of them created any structure that we still enjoyed today. What is happening at the top that we don't understand, that we don't know? If I ask you, what will you do if you become the president? There is no way you're going to tell me you're going to eat all the money, because how much you fit chop? How much you fit chop? To be honest, how much you fit chop? And don't try to make me feel like the rich people want to be richer. No. Why are all the presidents acting the same? What is happening at the top is not possible for every.
Day to prove to you Nigerians. Good morning, guys. I am live at Elepe. Another day to prove to you Nigerians that our voices was heard. You can see the bosses we have here. We have bosses. It did not end. So I really want to say a big thank you to everybody that turned up for me yesterday and more. You guys turning up for me. You guys supporting me. You see that guy that came here and other people that came here to root for me. I really want to say a very big thank you. Thank you, Nigerians. And that negative comment about, oh, she has started using Uber. That cannot stop me. As you can see, I am here live at Elepe. I'm actually going to use an Uber, but I want to prove to Nigerians that I'm not going to stop talking. If they don't provide buses for us, I will continue. So, thank you, Nigerians. Good morning, guys. I am live at Elepe.
2026, Asurok will. Are you aware that in this month of March 2026, Asurok will fully disconnect from national grid, meaning that they will not be shouting up. Now, wait, let me explain. So, earlier 2025, Asurok budgeted 10 billion naira in installation of solar system in Villa, meaning that they had no confidence in providing stable electricity for themselves, not even for Nigerians. Now, fast forward to today, March 2026, Asurok is fully disconnecting from national grid. Now, that is not even the major problem. Problem right now is that the power generation company has revealed that they are owing 3.3 trillion naira to the company supplying them gas. Now, how did they arrive to that? There are companies in Nigeria that generate power for the federal government, and federal government pay them to collect that power and supply to Nigerians, which you see in your house and shout up NEPA. So, you can build a power plant and supply to the federal government, they will buy it from you. But the problem is that when the government buy those lights for them every month, when they want to pay them back, the governments don't pay them in full. They pay them only sometimes 30% or below. So that money they pay them is not even enough to pay the company that supplied them gas. So that resulted to the power generation company owing 3.3 trillion naira to gas suppliers. And those people who are supplying them those gas are now saying that they will stop supplying them this gas, meaning that in the next few weeks or few months, the epileptic electricity you are seeing now might even get worse. So if you are looking for who is the major problem right here, is the Nigerian government. They are not paying the power generation companies enough. Imagine paying 30% of the total invoice generated for the power supplied to you. So how would the power generation company get enough money to pay the gas company? And if that continues in the next 3 months or 6 months, the debt might get up to 8-point-something trillion, because for every month they don't pay them, the debt increases. So now, instead of solving that problem or looking for how to pay that debt or pay those power generation company their invoice 100% so that them can pay the gas company the money, guess what is happening? The Nigerian government, Asurok, is disconnecting from national grid and going full solar, so that you will be left in darkness. So meaning that if the Nigerian government want to actually solve the problem of electricity, they can actually solve it. But rather, they abandon it, go fully solar, and most of those politicians in their homes have generator, they have mega solar and mega big inverters in their home, leaving you ordinary Nigerians in darkness. I just make I explain why you're having epileptic electricity, why that epileptic one you're having will go away in the nearest future. When I'm talking about future, I'm not saying far future, I mean in the next few weeks or few months. Anyway, stay tuned for more updates.
I have come again. Nazukuma. Arewa, I've come again. Oh, come again. Nazukuma, talk. Let's talk. Arewa, let's talk. What's happening? What's happening, Arewa? What's happening? Over the past couple of weeks, we have been seeing unalivings of northern lives in numbers. The terrorism is actually almost overrunning the northern part of the country. Meanwhile, Bola Tinubu is arresting top northern voices, and northerners are quiet. The north is not remembering what's happening. I remember speaking like a week or 2 weeks ago, when just a few days after they took El-Rufai, and we're expecting that there will be a total uproar, but everywhere, shuru, no noise, no noise. I saw a video of another it's a satirical video of him saying, Tinubu have sent them praying mats. Let him also send them the shroud that they use to wrap their unalive bodies. The northerners are not making noise. The northerners are coming to tend to the reality of what I said 2 weeks ago, that the greatest mistake the North will make in 2027 is to play politics, thinking that Bola Tinubu will give them power in 2031. If the signs are not clear enough for you to understand that 2031, Tinubu will not give you the power. He will give power to him. Either he re-enthrones himself, which you cannot do anything. I want you to understand, you cannot do anything with Tinubu. Tinubu understands the dynamics of seizing power. You can't do anything. What will you do? What you cannot do now that they have carried El-Rufai for close to 2 weeks with the Malami, what will you do then? The only chance, I'm saying the only redemptive chance Northern Nigeria stands or have is in 2027. Rally with the South in your numbers and support a candidate that has affinity in the South. Defend your vote with your lives and pursue Tinubu out of power. Because if you don't, Tinubu already sold the northern part of Nigeria to the West. I hope you guys understand. You will see military base in the northern part of Nigeria. America is already there. And still this unaliving is happening. Your mineral resources will be excavated from your region and still unaliving will be happening.
Are you aware that in this month of
Arewa, I've come again. Oh, I have come again. Nazokuma, let's talk. Arewa, let's talk. What's happening? What's happening, Arewa? What's happening? Over the past couple of weeks, we have been seeing unalivings of northern lives in numbers. The terrorism is actually almost overrunning the northern part of the country. Meanwhile, Bola Tinubu is arresting top northern voices, and northerners are quiet. The north is not remembering what's happening. I remember speaking like a week or 2 weeks ago, when just a few days after they took El-Rufai, and we're expecting that there will be a total uproar, but everywhere, shuru, no noise, no noise. I saw a video of another nurse, a satirical video of him saying, Tinubu have sent them praying mats. Let him also send them the shroud that they use to wrap their unalive bodies. The northerners are not making noise. The northerners are coming to terms with the reality of what I said 2 weeks ago, that the greatest mistake the North will make in 2027 is to play politics, thinking that Bola Tinubu will give them power in 2031. If the signs are not clear enough for you to understand that 2031, Tinubu will not give people power. He will give power to him. Either he re-enthrones himself, which you cannot do anything. I want people to understand, you cannot do anything with Tinubu. Tinubu understands the dynamics of seizing power. You can't do anything. What will you do? What you cannot do now that they have carried El-Rufai for close to 2 weeks with the Malami, what will you do then? The only chance, I'm saying, is the only redemptive chance Northern Nigeria stands or have is in 2027. Rally with the South in your numbers and support a candidate that has affinity in the South. Defend your vote with your lives and pursue Tinubu out of power. Because if you don't, Tinubu have already sold the northern part of Nigeria to the west. I hope you guys understand. You will see military base in the northern part of Nigeria. America is already there. And still this unaliving is happening. Your mineral resources will be excavated from your region and still unaliving will be happening. No development, no nothing. Tinubu is going to sell. He has sold Nigeria and he's ready to rule over the ashes. He doesn't care as long as he's in power. The power now lies in my hands and in your hands. If you guys have to understand that Tinubu, forget what people are going to say, he's only popular among 31 governors. The people reject him. If the North can come together in their numbers and reject Tinubu and support another candidate, let me even say it, and support Peter Obi, the South will deliver. Because Tinubu cannot win Peter Obi in the South. He cannot win Peter Obi in the South. I say take it to the bank. He cannot win Peter Obi in the South. Only maybe he will win Peter Obi in part of the Southwest. But he cannot win Peter Obi in the South. So please, other Nigerians, wake up. Wake up. I'm not sounding this alarm. I will keep sounding this alarm because it is painful for people to hear it. But that's the only redemption. A man that you people can vote in, and I will listen to you people. And I will be empathetic towards what is happening in the North. And I will actually work towards bringing real development in the North that can take our farmers back to the farm, that can actually fight this terrorism head on, that can visit the site of victims without being coerced by the Nigerian people. A man of empathy, a man that loves education, a man that understands, and I keep saying that the arable land in the North is the new gold mine of Nigeria. A man that understands these things is what the North needs. What the North does not need is under 4 years of Bola Tinubu, the North will not survive. Nigeria's entirety might not survive, but the North will be the worst hit. Because as we speak right now, you're already in bed with terrorism. The NSA, the person that is programming himself to be the next president, in case Tinubu does not do third term, the NSA Ribadu, that people are rumored to say he's the one allegedly arresting all his northern opponents against 2031, has come out to tell people that the terrorists, the bandits are our brothers. So therefore, we're going to treat them with kid gloves. But look at what they are doing to our fellow northern brothers and sisters. Look at Abba. 10 million was raised for that young man, given to the terrorists. They are demanding for more. Look at how they treat our northern brothers and sisters. Look at how they enter the village and massacre people. And no words from the presidency. No words from Nuribadu. It's our brothers that are working. Namune, Ba Masala. It is important this message get to the corner. I keep saying all the time. If I finish speaking this message, Kuyi translation, it is important to people spread this message. Everywhere you can find yourself, put it out there. Let our northern brothers and sisters arise and understand. 2027 election is not an election of convenience. You will kill that hate you have for the Igbo man, and you will support an Igbo man to take away Tinubu out of power. That's the only pathway. That is the only pathway of revival of survival of the North and in Nigeria in general. And I'm saying this also, as I said the last time, that other regions can actually cope. The Igbo people can cope without power. They have not been in power for over 60 years. They will cope. They will survive. They have been surviving. Can you survive? Can you? If you know you can't, you have to do the hard work and do the needful. Because Tinubu is like cancer. And like cancer, cancer does not just go. Cancer spreads. And you cannot manage cancer. Either you buy cancer or cancer buys you. It's either you unalive cancer or cancer unalives you. A word is enough for the wise. A word is enough for the wise. If El-Rufai had listened to people like us that were screaming in 2022, this alliance with Tinubu will swallow you. This alliance with Tinubu will eat you up. This alliance with Tinubu is like you getting a lion, an adult lion, and turning it into a pet. You did not catch the lion when it was the cub. You're not going to catch a lion from the forest and say, you will turn it to your pet because you have meat to give it. One day that lion will eat you up. And that's exactly what's happening in northern Nigeria right now. And I said the last time that 99% of northern politicians are all corrupt. 99% of the political class in North are corrupt. And Tinubu knows how to weaponize corruption. He knows how to weaponize the agencies that tackle corruption. He is not going to fight corruption. If he is going to fight corruption, Yahya Bello will not be working around him. Wike will not be working around him. All these other people that have corrupt baggage will not work. Ababi will not be working around him. Many of them are not working around him. But he knows that corruption, they are all corrupt, but if you find your own corrupt and use you as scapegoats, like he's using El-Rufai now as a scapegoat, I hope the North wakes up to understand this. I will keep sounding this warning until it happens. And when it eventually happens, I'll be here to remind you guys. In other words, I told you guys, but you did not listen.
Open your mouth to say that the Nigeria of today is better than Nigeria of 10 years ago. May Nigeria happen to you and your household. He said, if you open your mouth
with a terrorist sympathizer like Sheikh. I hate to agree with a terrorist sympathizer like Sheikh Gumi. This man is a terrorist sympathizer. You can't justify what Sheikh Gumi is, the things he's doing. His comment, his body language, and one of his close aides was arrested by the DSS. Some people have come out, people who have been kidnapped say, oh, Sheikh Gumi said we should take ransom to social person, to this, to that.
How can I be agreeing with somebody who is a terrorist sympathizer? I hate to agree with him. But again, I must say that the government, they know where these bandits are. They know where the terrorists are. They know their location. And this is what I keep saying, that they collude. Because you cannot tell me. And that's why I gave you that example of Jonathan bringing mercenaries when our military had failed just before the 2015 general election. And the bandits came and they cleared them. Yes, you can say it is very painful that non-state actors will not take over our primary responsibility and work of security agencies. It's painful. But even in the US, Google it, fact check me and see. The US collaborate with private security firms, both for domestic intervention and international and foreign intervention.
During Ramadan period, it's usual with the terrorists during Ramadan period. For them, they feel when they die, they're going to heaven, so they are ready to commit any offense or to get killed because they feel they have reward to do. But like I said, we have adjusted our strategies. You can see in the past few days, we've taken over those locations, we've killed their commanders, we've taken over their assets. We'll continue to do more. And I assure you, Mr. President has approved so many things that are coming on our line, and we're working together as a team. You can see all members of the security forces are here to assure Nigerians and to assure Mr. President that we're on track and will succeed.
Okay, maybe you have not, or maybe you have seen it, but you didn't pay attention as to what it actually carries. Let's see it again, at least one more time.
What we need now is the practical solution to Nigerian economic issues. Number one, in the 9th Senate, when leader was here, Senator Omoye Agege stood up here. We are talking of illegal mineral mining. Before I come to, it leads to smuggling of illegal mineral to Iran and Iraq, to China. He stood up here. He informed us that Zamfara state government brought a molded gold of 150 billion to Mr. President to be given to Emefiele so that they can deposit it into the account of Zamfara government, not to the central post. He now asked whether we agree that they can go back to the creek and be stealing their oil. Some of us said, well, since they are doing it in Zamfara, you can go on. So this thing went back to 600 barrels per day before the federal government took a decision to stamp out this thing to raise it to 1.3 million barrels. Now, the military operation is on water. We have stabilized smuggling on that place. What is going on in Zamfara before Nasarawa took over of establishing mining industries is appalling. Zamfara is the richest state in Nigeria. Gold, uranium, silver, lead. Today, there is no single dollar sent into the account of federal government. And we are borrowing money all over the whole world from those people that stole our destiny there. What can you do as Mr. Minister to stop this carnage so that we stop borrowing money all over the world?
Let's tell ourselves the gospel truth, that this country is like this at this moment, and it's looking like there is no redemption, there is no hope in sight. It's not just on the politicians. In fact, it's no longer on the politicians. They have already messed these things up. But these guys have given us enough signal. Again, giving us enough signals, enough reasons to bring down this system. They are crying out. All of this video, anytime you see, they are not exposing, they are crying out. They are saying, take whatever you want to do. Do with this information whatever you want to do, whatever you wish to do. And they have done enough. But we are the ones currently, the present state of this country is not on the politicians. They may have contributed to what led us here, but we are the reason why the country is still like this. Because information like this, in a very sane, forward-thinking, upward mobile, patriotic citizens, this is enough to collapse the system and restart again. That's Senator Francis Adenigba Fadawusi. He used to be an assistant comptroller of Nigerian Customs Service before he retired. He's the senator representing the good people of Osun East Senatorial District at the National Assembly. He's a second term in office. He came in as PDP member sometime in 2025, I think July or so. He defected to the All Progressives Congress. So he is in the party that is in charge. He is currently the Senate chairman on Committee on Industries. This very heavy, weighty information is enough to know that there is something fundamentally wrong with this country and that we need to fix it. However, we are cruising with information like this. This man openly saying that rewards from mining of our mineral resources is going to private pockets. It's not going to the federal government. Whereas in the south and the Niger Delta, oil revenues is what the country is living on. Even to get FX, to get in dollar that we are exporting, it is oil revenues. You look at the scenario you painted of the conversation that Omoye, the former Deputy Senate President, had and all of that. You can see, so it shows there is something wrong. But these guys are shocked that despite all of this information, there are people still defending that this thing is workable in this system and they should not bring it down. Again, I say this clearly. No matter what you think, we may not have been part of what led us here, but we are now the reason why we are still here. The day Nigerians get tired, information like this is valuable enough to agree that something needs to be done. I don't know how, I don't know when, but until Nigerians get ready to collapsing the system and being able to reconstruct a new system that will be beneficial for the general good of Nigerians, we'll continue to see stories like this, cruise about it, tweet about it, make videos about it, but nothing actually happens. Again, these guys are shocked that we see information like this and we don't act. It's shocking. And it will remain shocking.
You lift me up high, you spread my wings and
Moi d'où il vient, enfin je saurai où je vais.
Presidential Food Nutrition Assistance Program flagged in Plateau State targets 2,000 vulnerable residents. You all know what time it is. It's election time for APC.
All right. Greetings. So I greet everybody. I salute. So Okpebholo will say any billboard, anywhere you see Peter Obi billboard. In fact, that's the only thing I think I did hear. Anywhere, let me see. Any billboard other than APC. Okpebholo, yeah. The only banner we want to see in Edo State is Asiwaju 2027. If we see other political parties poster, there will be trouble. Shebi his town crier came out, Egogo, and said almost the same thing, basically the same thing. And some people came out and were defending the governor. Hey, anyway, that's we'll see how this plays out. That's him right there. All right. Let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull up a video. I think it disappeared. I was trying to. Where is this? I don't know how this video. How can video just disappear like that? I don't understand. This is wild. Let me see. Okay, I think this is okay. That's it. I found the video. If you welcome, well, now what person go do? We move. Luther continue. Say we go quiet, lie, not me at least, until we get that country back. We go we go here. Now here we dey. We must collect that country back.
But he's here in the capacity of a political affairs analyst. Good evening to you, Mr. Aguma. Thanks for joining me on Political Lens.
Mr. Okoro.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good to have you on my show.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Okay, it's been a while.
If it's too fast for you guys, let me know.
I like to travel to Iran.
No, I can't go to Iran. I can't go to Iran. I better go to Bahrain instead of going to Iran. Anyway, good to have you on my show. Now, let's go. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, may be facing its first internal crisis since its formation. Unfortunately, a few weeks away from the primary elections to enable it field candidate for the 2027 general election. In the lead up to the defection of Olumide Akpata, candidate of the LP in the last election, during which Peter Obi and other party stalwarts were attacked, the ADC had already been immersed in internal crisis following the emergence of two factions in the state party, one loyal to John Odigio Odegu and another to Roland Omoye. And in Oyo State, controversy has erupted within the chapter of the ADC as two factions of the party lay claim to the leadership of the Membership Revalidation and Membership Registration Committee. While one faction maintained that Ayo Akiyemi remains the duly recognized chairman of the MRMR committee with Professor Folake Tafita serving as secretary, another group insisted that Chief Bisi Ilaka, a former chief of staff to Governor Seyi Makinde, had been appointed to head the committee. Now there is crisis in Oyo State as well. And in Cross River State, a team of mobile policemen in Calabar on Tuesday, that's the day before yesterday, sealed up the venue slated for the inauguration of the ADC Membership Registration, Mobilization and Revalidation Committee due to the emergence of parallel committees carrying out the exercise. In Kebbi State, the ADC appears to be battling a deep structural crisis as its grassroots structure across the 21 local government areas continues to deteriorate ahead of the 2027 general elections. And in Gombe State, the ADC is
problem foretold and foreseen. Because right now, ADC don't have that personality that can weigh them in. That is that personality that can rein them in. A sort of charismatic leadership. ADC don't have it.
Really?
Yes, they don't. Is it an article?
I'm supposed to hear this, yes.
Or Amechi?
Or P2B.
So you
or
can,
David Mark.
You can see.
Or Odigye Oyegu.
That is the problem.
Or Aminu Tambowa.
So all of them are their own chiefdom. They are their own chiefdom. They are all independent minded. So there is no one person you can say, yes, this is a prominent figure in ADC now that can say, oh yeah, all of you come here, let's talk. And all of them will answer. That is the major problem ADC have. And it is not something you can say you didn't know what happened or how it started. Because even up to today, they are still trying to find their feet. Because the ruling party have made it impossible for them to come together and to stabilize. They are still fighting who will be what and who will be in what position. Up to today. So that is why those state whatever, are having a few days struggling with each other. Nobody can call them to order and they will listen. That is a major problem. David Mark, that's supposed to be the chairman and all that. He's not. I can't remember when last I heard his name. I cannot remember. Even the Abuja election that happened, they said he stayed off because the people that were, that contested under ADC, he's not aware of them, that they were not his candidate and all that. So, in fact, I don't know. Only God will save that party. Seriously. Unfortunately, that is the only opposition that Nigerians can look up to, and this type of thing are happening. You see, whenever there is absence of leadership in any environment, the next thing is chaos. That is just the simple explanation.
But Mr. Gombo, you have raised a few talking points, and so let's begin to interrogate them. What you have read out, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Odigye Oyegu. Mind you, Odigye Oyegu is the pioneer national chairman of the APC.
Yeah.
And you are saying that these people lack charismatic leadership. What kind of people do they need again?
Can't you see it?
No, I don't. I can't see.
Oh my God! Look, if there is, these things that you mentioned now will not happen. True or false?
No, but Peter Obi was in Labour Party and he was able to rally them. The same Odigye Oyegu was in APC and he was able to rally them as the pioneer national chairman. Atiku Abubakar, no larger than life figure from the PDP, now he's in the ADC, and yet they are finding it difficult to find a compass of cohesion. So why?
That's what I'm telling you. These places you mentioned, these people, they came from a different background. Odigye was in APC. Now he found himself in ADC. Peter Obi was in the Labour Party, now in ADC.
Okay.
Atiku was in PDP, now he's here. So Amechi was in APC, now he's here. So they came from different backgrounds. And because of ego issues, they don't want to, surrender their power to one man who they can look up to. Who they can look up to. That is just the major problem they have.
But Mr. Gombo, if you are talking about one man they should look up to, does that speak to a kind of strongman politics, one strongman politics that we require? Is that what we require? Especially when we also know that when you have a strong man, deciding everything, taking decisions, in a political party, we cry there is lack of internal democracy in that political party. I make reference to the APC, where probably you will say, well, that they have a figure like Bola Ahmed Tinubu who reins everybody in. But there's a lot of complaint, even from people like you, that, well, there is lack of internal democracy in the APC. So is that what we should have in the ADC?
We are talking of a man that they respect. A man
we are saying the same thing here.
No, there is a difference between a dictator who don't want any opposition or any.
Let's go back to the APC. You said that they're coming from different backgrounds. Odigye Oyegu from APC, Amici APC, Atiku Abubakar PDP, Peter Obi from Labour Party. In 2013-14, we had Muhammad Buhari from CPC. We had the Omoye from APP. We have the other people from ACN, Bola Ahmed Tinubu from ACN, and all of that. And yet they had cohesion at that point. So why is that lacking? Because they were also strange bedfellows, but they were able to sleep in one bed and come up with something. Why is that lacking in the ADC?
Look, as at the time you mentioned, Buhari and Tinubu, Tinubu was their national leader.
National leader,
yes. A nomenclature that is unknown to political hierarchy.
No, it's not unknown.
It's unknown. No. There is nothing like in the organogram of political party. Where does it belong? He doesn't have a portfolio. He's just there. National leader. He doesn't have a portfolio. Go and check. He's just there, and I don't remember any day he called for a meeting. I don't remember any day he ran in any party.
But he, as a national leader, he said, well, that he didn't have executive powers to rein in any.
So it wasn't, that's what I told you.
Okay, so how could he turn around to become a rallying point, a rallying figure for the APC?
Because You know, he has been in Lagos State as a governor.
Okay.
So the political clout he wielded in Lagos was still with him.
But Mr. Gomo,
yes.
I understand your position, but let's go back to APC. Let's go back to 2019. Yes, that was in 2019. Atiku Abubakar and Amechi ran on the same platform. At some point, Amechi and Atiku Abubakar were in the APC at the same time. So what is lacking here? That cohesion. Why is that cohesion lacking in the ADC?
Look, let me tell you the simple truth.
Okay.
People rally around the man with the power of the purse. The man who can do that money and do things, who can command the resources. People rally around him because he can use those things to command your obedience. That is just the simple truth. There is nobody like that in ADC today. Nobody. That is why all of them are independent-minded. No one single
Mr.
person.
Atiku Abubakar has a lot of money.
Has he been doling it out?
Why is he not doing that?
I just told you now. He's not even sure whether he get the ticket of ADC. Is that not an issue?
Okay.
He's not even sure. That's why he's talking with this other party and all that. Remember, they have been speaking with one another.
So he has to be sure that he will get the ticket before he.
Exactly.
But every time we come here and elsewhere, we say, well, Atiku Abubakar is more like Peter. You don't have a chance in the ADC because Atiku Abubakar that we know is very adept at winning presidential tickets. So why is he not doing that now?
Because
why is he not sure at this moment? Has he lost that capacity?
It's not sure because the popularity of P2B is making him jittery. That is what
the popularity of P2B is making him jittery. But in the last general election, he came first runner up.
Leave all those. That was before now. That was before.
So what has changed? A lot of people also believe that P2B has lost popularity.
It's a lie. As of today, this ticket is still for the South. The South is still running, remember? Okay. So everybody is deferring to P2B. That is why Atiku is not sure whether anybody can look up to the North now, because it is the turn of the South. That is the issue here. That's why people are not, if you check, Atiku Abubakar is not as popular as he's supposed to be. Even the Northern oligarchy, they are not rallying around him. They are not. Most of them are saying that it is the turn of the South. So that is why people are now looking up to Obi.
Make it a habit. 7 minutes of Tai Chi every morning, all the way for 1 month. In 1 week, you'll.
And that is making Atiku not to be doling out money.
Okay, so apparently your position is that ADC lacks internal cohesion because they don't have a strong man, a rallying figure that can raise people.
Simple and short.
Okay, so what would that speak to? What would that say about internal democracy? Because we already complained that in APC, it's only one man that takes decision and reins everybody in. Is that the kind of democratic culture we want to build over time?
That is what APC wanted, though.
Is that what Nigerians want?
That is what that's where they.
So is that what you want? Because that's a model. That's a model you're prescribing now.
No. That, in fact, what we are practicing as of today, generally, is not democracy. Okay. You and I know that. Generally,
you know, I don't know.
I am telling you, from all the things we saw in the Electoral Act and to what some of the parties are doing, we are not practicing democracy. The ruling party is supposed to show the light, but they are the worst example of a democratic party. The worst example.
They are the worst example, the ruling party. And you are saying they are doing good because of what they are doing.
Who said that?
Okay, so why is ADC not doing the same thing?
How can they do
so if it is not a model that you are prescribing, so what in the alternative should ADC do to have that cohesion?
Look, I said people rally around. There's one proverb in Igbo land. They said, "Onye ji igu kewu nesu." That is, if you are carrying the palm front, the ghost will always follow you.
Mr. So now,
the person that have the power of the purse, who can command the respect with that power of the purse, is the people that people are deferring to.
Okay, and that person is lacking in the ADC.
Where is the person?
Okay, so what happened? Did Obi have that power in the Labour Party when people rallied around him?
What happened in 2023 was a happenstance.
Okay, it was happenstance.
It was a gamble that worked. But APC,
so that gamble cannot work again.
APC have made sure that with what it can never happen again.
Now, thanks for bringing us back to the fact that APC has made sure. When we hear the leaders of the opposition blame the ruling party for the problems of the opposition, how does that portray the opposition?
That's why
as feeble or they lack direction?
No,
should they be complaining?
No, they should, because you have used the power of the federal government
to do what?
To muscle down the opposition.
How did they do that?
With what has happened so far with all the parties, they can't even hold the meeting without somebody coming to scatter the meeting.
Exactly the point. What we hear is that the meetings have been scattered because of their own internal problems.
What you hear,
yes.
Yeah,
do you know differently?
This is why we will always quarrel here.
No, do you know differently?
How can I use my money to organize a meeting and then scatter the meeting?
Because you want to shut out some people out of that meeting.
No. When did they come out and say that they were shut out?
In Edo State.
Please. The man they were talking about was in Oyegun's house. He was in that meeting.
Okay.
It was, and they want to give a dog a bad name just to hand it. It never happened. Okay, other places like in Lagos.
Okay, in Gombe State, what is going on there?
What is going on there?
I'm asking the internal discourse.
Tell me, how is it that
in Cross River State, what is happening? Is it the ruling party that is funding all of that?
Of course. Most have been sponsored. Most have been, because if you check, most of the things that causing internal wrangling is in fact is a non-issue. They just sponsor people to cause a problem. By the way, why must it be opposition? Why is it that whenever the ruling party want to do, no noise? Why? You mean the opposition, they don't know how to organize themselves or what? This is a video. That was the power of the pulse. I can give you money to go and spoil something.
But when we say it's only in the opposition parties that we have this problem, I'm not sure that we are very correct. Because when the APC held their state congress, there was crisis across the states. In Delta State, in Benue State,
in Ondo State,
there was fracas. And so, was it the opposition that was funding that?
This one now is within. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Exactly what is happening in the ADC.
But has it been settled?
What?
The one in APC, has it been?
Some of them have not been settled.
Not some of them.
Okay. Now, some of them were just, let us just continue.
Now, listen. If it is an internal family matter, it is easily settled. But in this case now, in the case of opposition, these are external factors.
You think that the problems in ADC will never be settled?
Up to today, the people that did what they did in Edo State, have they been arrested? Up to today.
Yes, we hear some people.
Some. So, and what is going on with it?
Investigations.
Okay. You can see now.
Mr. Gomo, let me ask you, in all of this, do you think that the ADC will be able to field a presidential candidate or government candidates or even National Assembly or House of Assembly candidates in the 2027?
Why not? Because they have not been shut out so far so good.
Okay.
They are still in the this thing. I mean, INEC did not register any of them. It's a matter of time. They are going to, maybe after April 2nd, when they start their registration of members and all that.
No, when they end, because I think the deadline is today or tomorrow for submission of a membership register, digital membership register.
I thought it's April 2nd.
No, I hear it's today.
Yes. I'm not too sure.
I'm not too sure anyway, but I heard something. I heard something like that.
No,
but apart from that, my question is this: in the midst of all this crisis, do you think that if you say they lack a charismatic leader who can rein everybody in, how fast, how soon can they settle this internal problem so that they will be able to meet with the deadlines, with the timelines required to, submit digital register, submit names of candidates, conduct primaries, and all of that? How sure are we that they are even going to conduct primaries in peace? How sure are we that they are not going to have parallel primaries, and that will compound their problem? So I'm asking you, in all of this, do you think that the ADC might just be able to field candidates for the election?
Look, it will be very dangerous if only APC is the only person on the ballot. Very, very dangerous. In fact, it may truncate the democracy completely. That's just the truth. So the earlier APC stay away and allow these parties to exist, the better. The better. Like now, what they put in that amendment, is it not enough to put the opposition parties in disarray? Because they say you cannot be into political whatever.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Good. So what I'm saying in essence is that APC is behind all the problem in the other opposition party. I mean, is it not obvious?
Barrister, you're a lawyer. Do you have evidence to that?
Oh, you have started. What is evidence? When things are happening, hold on. When things are happening and somebody is pulling the string somewhere, is it not obvious? Must I come and tell you, yes, I'm behind your problem?
No, but how do you know? That's the question.
Is it not obvious?
How obvious is it?
Obvious is that because you are the ruling party.
Every problem in this country is caused by the ruling party.
Not everybody. When it comes
because that's what you're alluding to now.
Listen.
Okay.
Okay, dude, don't complicate getting back in shape after 50. Start this Monday with just 7 minutes a day of chair workouts for beginners.
The way the Electoral Act is crafted, on whose favor? Tell me. On whose favor? Who is behind all these things? Why is it that it's only APC that accepted this manual whatever? Why is it only APC? All the opposition said no. Only APC accepted it. So who is now asking for privilege?
They are doing all of that to favor the.
Oh no, it's to favor me. It's to favor me. You are still asking questions. You are it's to favor me.
Will APC remain in power forever?
But they are doing it as of now. For now, yes. For now, they want to get across the ocean with it.
Okay. So they want to be the sole beneficiary.
Well, is it not obvious?
So that they continue to rule Nigeria forever and ever.
No, is it not obvious? At least for now, you can do it. You can make a law to favor one man, but the general public may be gullible to what is being played out. Like this one about certificate forgery and all that. Did you see any opposition member with such a scandal? Any opposition member, candidate, with such a scandal as of today. Did you? Why did they bring such a thing up? Because the Constitution have already taken care of certificate forgery. So why did you bring it into electoral act?
Which certificate forgery are you talking about?
Which one?
Which certificate?
No, don't worry. When the time comes, you will talk about it. Since you don't know.
No, because there are so many. We had to change that. Even Peter Mba had issues.
That one is gone. That one is gone. We are talking of any presidential candidate with a certificate issue. We have not seen or heard of any of them from the opposition. We have not seen or heard. But we have heard of the ruling party. And it's still an issue up to today. Up to today. Some people are fighting tooth and nail not to release their documents from America. Is it the opposition? No, tell me. Is it the opposition that said, please, if you release those certificates and those documents, it will harm you. Don't do it. Is it the opposition that is doing it? Are you telling me that these doses, if they are released today, it will not cause problem for some people? No, tell me now. It will not cause a problem.
But the man at the center of the drama that you are referring to, that you are talking about, that we all understand, was in the opposition at the time this problem started. So what did the ruling party do? Way back in
it doesn't matter when, look, any criminal...
Exactly the point. So at that point, he was not in the ruling party. He was in the minority. He was in the opposition party.
Criminal case does not die until adjudicated.
What I'm saying is that the only people that have certificate problems are people in the opposition. And I'm telling you, the one that you are referencing now, the time it happened, he was not in the ruling party. It was in the opposition.
At that time now, it was not in the no, Mr. Okoro.
No, it was in the no.
It was not now.
No, it was. At some point, people went to court.
Hold on. It was not in the no. And maybe the ruling party was not interested. But now...
you said that they were not interested, but it was. It went to court at that point.
Look, the information available at that time was not available to... the information we have today was not available as at that time. Are you getting what I'm saying? Nobody went as far as with the school and everything.
But that time, he was not in the ruling party.
Because, yes, the ruling party was not interested in all those things. It is not that they now started misbehaving, because that's why they said whenever a deity becomes too arrogant, it is reminded of the thing that caused it. That's what happened in that case. Because
Mr. Agoma, before we leave this topic, I would like for you to, what kind of recommendation will you make to prescription, to the ADC, so that they'll be able to have internal cohesion? Because that looks like the problem that they have now. Should they go and look for a charismatic leader, or should they, prop up one in the person of who? So that if that is their major problem, what should they do? Because it looks like the job of the opposition that is caught out for them, they seem not to be doing it very well. And instead of harmonizing, they are scattering the structures that they already have.
You mean the opposition or ADC?
I mean the ADC, look, which you said is the major opposition party now.
The thing is that the ruling party need to stay away from their matter. They should start making laws that will put them in disarray. That is the major issue here, because one is coming up today. The Electoral Act has been signed, and yet they are still amending. Whom are they trying to shut out? Tell me who? These are issues now. Who are they trying to shut out? By making this type of laws, are you not ruffling the feathers of the opposition parties? And you are still asking me why they are in disarray, why they are in this, why they are in that.
Okay, so apparently you blame the ruling APC.
Yeah, because both INEC and National Assembly are in bed with the ruling party. That's not the truth. They are working through them. Mr. Okoro. Let me say.
Okay, we'll continue to interrogate all of these things. We are getting into the primaries and all of that, and we'll see how all of that pan out. Let's move on. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NICOM, has stated that Nigerians who wish to leave Iran have been safely escorted across the Armenian border by officials of the Nigerian embassy in Tehran. In a statement posted on X on Wednesday yesterday, the Commission said the move was aimed at ensuring a smooth and secure passage for those wishing to exit the country. No Nigerian in Iran has been affected by the conflict so far, with government officials remaining stationed at the border to receive and assist all evacuees, the statement said. Well, NICOM added that the federal government remains vigilant and is responding to the safety and welfare of Nigerians abroad. The Commission also noted that the evacuation process is being coordinated in collaboration with the Armenian authorities, with Nigerian officials stationed at the border to assist citizens arriving from Iran. Meanwhile, at least one Nigerian coming up this morning has been identified among the 122 people injured during the interception of Iranian ballistic missiles in the United Arab Emirates, UAE. But the UAE Ministry of Finance did not specify the number of casualties from each nationality. It remained unclear how many Nigerians are currently in Iran or other Middle Eastern countries affected by the ongoing conflict. However, some Nigerians in Gulf states have called on the federal government to prepare repatriation flights for their evacuation. Earlier, the chairperson of NICOM, Advocate Adurerewa, said Nigeria would begin repatriating its citizens stranded in the Middle East once the airspace reopens. The Commission has also released emergency hotlines for Nigerians in the affected areas to seek assistance. Mr. Agoma, a group of 8 Americans evacuated from the region arrived at Charles Jones International Airport on Sunday, March 8, 2026. Another group of nearly 100 Americans returned to the U.S. around the same time. Other nations are also conducting evacuations. France has reported that nearly 20,000 of its nationals have been repatriated from the region since February 28, 2026. Nigeria is still sharing phone numbers for contacts. Proactive or reactive diplomacy within Nigeria?
Reactive. And it is not unbecoming. It is our stock in trade. We always react to issues. We are never proactive. Remember that the first thing Donald Trump did was to announce to Americans in the Middle East and Iran to pull out before they even struck. Remember, that was the first thing he did, because he knows that immediately such a thing happened, Americans anywhere will be the target. And so he announced before he now struck. But in Nigeria, what we had was that no Nigerians have indicated that they want to leave Iran. Is that not what Abike told us? And I laughed. I said, look at this. Danger is coming and you're waiting for them to announce. Why not even announce it first so that they will know that, yes, somebody cares for them? You know? So, I mean, it is the way we have been controlled or ruled. They never care about us. In fact, the one internally here, Nigerians, do they care about you? Not to talk of those who are out there in the white. The ones in Nigeria, have they cared about you? Not to talk of those people out there who they don't even know what is happening to them and all that. So I am not surprised though. Go and check. At a point, it was AP that volunteered to even repatriate our kids and kin in South Africa, in Libya, and other hot zones. Is that not true? So, I mean...
Mr. Gomo, if you say that Nigerian government does not care, I would like us to cast our mind back to the Israeli-Gaza crisis. At some point, Nigerians in Lebanon, the federal government wanted to move them. And a lot of Nigerians said, no, we want to remain here. They didn't want to come back home. So what does that tell you? Is it because they are more comfortable in war-torn zones than in their own home country, where there seems to be, anyway, some kind of war going on? So what will it be? Who should take that responsibility? Is it the federal government who says, well, come, let's take you home? Or the Nigerians who say, well, we don't want to go home, we want to remain here? Who should take responsibility? At what point did you hear these people say they don't want to come home? At what point? Or is it that the federal government is telling you what these people said? At what point? No, we heard some of them. Some Nigerians said, no, instead of coming back, let's stay in Lebanon. What was their reason? I wouldn't know. As at that time, the war in Lebanon was collateral damage to what was going on in Gaza between Hamas and Israel. Okay. I don't think there was a... No, but other nationals, other countries moved there. Moved there, yes. So why was Nigeria not doing that? And when Nigeria wanted to do that, citizens said, well, we want to remain here. Because they were looking at what was going on at home. Okay. Yes. Some people say they would rather die there than to come and die in Nigeria. Or have you not seen... Exactly my point. Why would Nigerians prefer to die outside than to come home? Mr. Okoro, where are they coming back to? Some of their homes have been taken over by terrorists at home. Is that not a pointer? I mean, is it not a pointer? If you are somebody from Benue or Jos, where terrorists are taken, where will you go to? Yeah, but all of those people are not from Benue and Plateau. Some of them are from... some of them are our brothers, you and I. They are our Igbo brothers. Let's say that. They are hearing story. Where is safe in Nigeria? Please mention. Okay. Where is safe? Tell me any state in Nigeria. Where is not safe? You and I, we are here. Have we all been killed? Are you serious? Yeah. Really? You've forgotten that those people are coming back. Okay. They are going to rent a hotel because they don't have a home already. Okay. But they had home before they left. Good. And the moving around is not safe for them. Agomo, you and I, we are moving around. We have all not. What I'm telling you here is that look, these people, they hear news about you. Okay. They even have more news about Nigeria than you that is Nigeria. Two of us. Okay. I don't know. I'm telling you now. So the thing is that Nigeria is not safe. That you have survived a day does not make you safe. That you survive a day in Nigeria does not make you safe. You are just living by the grace of God. Not that, yes, generally, anybody providing... The Gaza crisis is not alone. It's not an isolated case. You remember that when Sudan unraveled, at some point, Nigerians in Sudan didn't even want to come home. So, why? Still the same question. Nigerians are... look, go and check. Mr. Okoro, listen very well. Okay. You see this religious thing, it is in DNA of some people. That is, they want to do solidarity with their kids and kin, as long as the religious matter. Some Nigerians would rather die in Iran, fighting for them, than to come back to Nigeria. Are you aware of that? Do you know that? Even with the provision made, some Nigerians will say, no, we are not going, we must fight with our brothers. After all, some people protested here when Iran was struck. Why? Are they Iranians? Are they Iranians? So when you say Nigeria don't want to go and check who. That's why I keep telling you people here, don't be deceived. When things like this happen, go and check the religion and the tribe. Then you now add two and two together to know why they are behaving in certain pattern. It's a must you do that so that you don't say all of us. When you say Nigerian, I was wondering, which Nigerians are saying they don't want to come back? These Nigerians say they want to come back. Yeah? Is it not when you identify this, they will not know, yes, who you are talking to here? So maybe volunteer to go and fight over there because they believe that they have a relationship with those people. These are issues that is driving Nigeria as a country.
When I used to think about taxes, I would just cringe. I used to use a CPA.
So when other nations are doing what they don't join them, because here you
Okay, so apparently what you're saying is that Nigeria is a peculiar case.
I'm telling you, in fact, Nigeria is a bizarre case. A bizarre case. Seriously. I'm not joking. It's a bizarre case.
Now, Mr. Agomos, still talking about diplomacy, how we conduct our diplomacy here. You know, we hear that India has rejected, and some other countries yet to be named, have rejected the ambassadors or the High Commissioner sent to them, especially India, due to timing and all of that. What does that tell you about how this administration conducts due diligence in handling policy formulation? Now, Mohammed Dalhatu, Ambassador Mohammed Dalhatu, career ambassador for that matter, was sent to India. And Indian government said, well, this particular administration that sent you has less than 2 years. And India has a policy of not accepting envoys, you know, whose government, the sending government, has less than 2 years to stay in office and all of that. Now, Nigerians are asking, does it look like we didn't conduct due diligence? This is their career ambassador. When he was posted, didn't he know? The president's handlers, didn't they sound out the Indian government? Well, we want to send an envoy to you. Is it appropriate at this time or not? Instead of this kind of embarrassment that we are exposed to at all times.
If you ask him, he will tell you he was saving money. That is why he did not send out the ambassador, because it will involve paying salary, all the other logistics and all that. Is that not the reason? That is the major reason. But that is what I call penny wise, pound foolish. A complete penny wise, pound foolish. You cannot tell me that there was no money to send that ambassador.
So is that what the president said?
You don't need to tell me. Okay. That is the only reason.
I just wanted to be sure.
No, he didn't say it, but that is the only reason.
That's yes. Open the window.
Yes. If you let somebody from the administration challenge me, because there's no other reason except that. That is his own way of saving money. But I told you that was the wrongest way to save money, because these ambassadors are what? They are our marketers. They are to bring in the money. If you have sent them out earlier, most of the bad image we have, they would have saved us such bad images, especially in the US. And so today, you feel now you have enough money, therefore you will not start sending ambassadors anytime you like. No, you don't run other countries for them. You don't. When it comes to matters like this, you should be proactive. You should be looking ahead. Somebody should have told you, Mr. President, this and this and this and this and this. That's why when I said there's no star minister here, these are my reasons. Are you telling me that your foreign affairs minister doesn't know of these policies?
Exactly. Where is this disconnect? Where is it coming from? Is it because the president is high-handed and he doesn't listen to or because the handlers do not even understand all of this?
No, maybe the president has been told, but he didn't pay attention to it. Or the people don't even know some of the policies of these foreign governments. That is just the truth.
So does that speak to is it about the quality of appointees or what?
That is a different kettle of...
I mean, his handlers, the president's
Okay,
handlers.
yes, I told you there's no star minister here. Mr. Okoro, I challenge anybody to tell me that star minister.
Do you think that the Minister of External Affairs, Tuga, didn't know about all of this? Or that he advised the president?
He would have said it. He would have hinted. Look, somebody would have said that at least by now, that person would have been exonerated. Okay. Are you getting? Somebody would have hinted that, look, delay in appointing ambassadors could cause us something in
this kind of environment.
I mean, by now, we would have been quoting that person, even if it's a subtle statement somewhere. But all of them were laid back. They left everything for Tinubu. Maybe his body language does not allow them to talk.
So the president is high-handed. Is that what you're saying?
Is it not obvious? Have they mentioned anybody that can look up to him like Okojiwala used to challenge Jonathan? I mean, mention anybody that will tell him, Mr. President, this one is wrong, don't do it. Mention anybody who can do that.
We can't do that.
We wait. We wait.
Yes,
he can't.
You think that level man can?
He can't lie. They dare not. Those that they worship him, those that serve him. What are you telling me? These are the people. If
the new Minister of Defense, the new Minister of Defense can't do that.
They can't do nobody. Nobody. Because that's why I said there's no star minister here. I mean, a core technocrat.
But the president says yes, Omoye is a star in this administration. He's a shining star of this administration.
Because of what he's doing in Abuja now and what he's doing with PDP. These are issues.
What he's doing in Abuja, building infrastructure, right?
That nobody has built, have you? No, nobody has built it. Yeah. Nobody. In fact, it was
he's building. We had El-Rufai and others. Bala Mohammed. We had them.
Government is a
building.
Government is a continuum. When you continue where somebody.
Let's talk about the appointment of Jimo Ibrahim as the Nigeria's permanent representative.
Can you just
how does that fit?
That is in fact that is the round square in a round peg in a square hole. Jimo Ibrahim. What is the background? What is the background? You remember oh my God. Remember the antecedent of that guy, the man who won election in prison. Remember? Remember the Ebola case and all that?
No, you're talking about Omishobe, not...
sorry. No, Nikon, yes. Look at the scandal and how we ended up. Look at that. With that kind of scandal and that kind of person, please, do you need him to go close to that?
You know what it means to be a senator
what
of
is
the
it?
Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Eh?
The Senator of the Federal Republic of
Mr. Okoro,
Nigeria. So
most
you
of
don't think that he fits in that position?
Please, this is a job for what? Intellectually capable technocrats. Intellectually capable, because you are going to meet the best in those areas, in that forum.
Mr. Omoye, when you were growing up, what did Nikon represent to you? Nikon.
I'm telling you, it was a big name.
Okay.
Mr. Okoro, it was a big name.
And this is the man that bought over Nikon.
And what happened to it?
Okay, so but he had the capacity to buy over Nikon at that.
Did you see the fraud that went with it? Who made him to buy it? Who gave him money? They say he was building company. Look at all the stock company he was buying and they do. What happened to all of them now? Did he make a success of each of them?
So what kind of person should we have sent to you as permanent representative?
The old woman who was there.
Joy.
Oh my God. Mr. Okoro. In fact, we are like that city in AI, that AI city in the Bible that kills this young one. I'm not joking. I said that this administration is like they are in enmity with quality. I'm not joking. In fact, it's like they have a serious obsession for bad people.
At some point, it looked like that position was reserved for people that had at one point or the other worked in the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs.
Yes, you came from there. Yes, where they are groomed.
What is it now?
Where they are groomed.
Former Ohaneze, George Obiozo, who at some point became Nigeria's ambassador to the United States, was also DG.
And look at their performance. Look at their performance. But here now, you don't pick anybody anywhere. And you expect performance. How can that happen? Can you give what you don't have? We are talking of an international forum where you meet the best of the best. The best of the best who can represent their country. And you take people like such a character there. Just to go and sit down and be drinking tea and warming chair.
Such a character, you're talking about the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yeah, Senator like Akpabio.
Mr. Agomo, let's move on. Now, let's talk about the Senate. Let's talk about the Senate. He's the Senate President. Let's talk about the Senate, and issues surrounding the Senate. Now, Senator representing Borno South, Alain Dume, has said that the National Assembly's core function of oversight is dead. Dume said this in an interview with an online TV station, where the senator, who has been very critical of policies of President Bola Tinubu, frowned at the National Assembly's automatic approval of some of the policies of the current administration. The other time, a few moments ago, you talked about the amendment of the recently signed into law Electoral Act, not up to 3 weeks. They already amended it. Now, do you agree with Senator Alain Dume when he says that he was short of saying that the Senate National Assembly is a rubber stamp legislature? Do you agree with him?
That has been the impression of every Nigerian. That has been this time around. He went for that. In fact, he now said that they don't exist. That was how Dume said it. Unfortunately, he's a member of that body. He said that they do not exist, and that is hard to describe, because if they exist, most of the things the executive is doing, they wouldn't have done. In fact, they wouldn't have dreamt of it. Seriously, when you have a legislature that is up and doing, the executive will be afraid of them. Donald Trump. Do you know why Donald Trump entered Iran? There was a rumor of impeachment. And to stave off that, the man had to rush into Iran with a bomb.
Impeachment of who?
Impeachment of Donald Trump. Okay. Because of the actions they are taking so far. Without recall to the Congress. Yes. Congress. They wanted to impeach it. That was because that day that bomb landed in Iran. Iran has already agreed to sign an agreement.
Iran had not. They were still.
No. They have already agreed. I said they have agreed. That was why Donald Trump did not even wait for the meeting. Okay. That day they were to hold the meeting.
I understand that Iran was pussyfooting, and
that was the propaganda of America.
Trump lost it.
That was the propaganda. But was there everything was scheduled?
No, if you want to travel along that line, that line, don't you think that Trump's action even defeats his MAGA position, make America great again, which essentially is talking about the advancement of America's interest outside?
No, listen. No matter how powerful you are, America don't want one strong man who will compromise their institution. Because that is the bastion of democracy. They don't want anybody who will desecrate it for whatever reason. You can do whatever, but there's
no. My position is this: if you say that Trump went to Iran because they wanted to,
there was rumor of impeachment. Yes.
I'm telling you that by taking that trajectory, he would have ended up compounding his own problem, because his MAGA mantra, make America again. What is the basis of that MAGA? Hold on, Barrister. MAGA means make America great again. And the basic import of that policy, that document, if there's anything like that, is to retrench America, play some kind of splendid isolationism, which Obama doctrine anyway emphasized, and Biden continued with that. Because the fact, America is decaying in terms of economy. Other countries like China and even, resurgent Russia are competing with America. And so instead of having to concentrate abroad, why don't you come home and build back America? And that was why he even had to suspend US aid. He had to suspend the United States from World Health Organization and other UN agencies. So taking US to Iran who simply have compounded this problem, even within the neoconservatives within within Republican.
No, right now, the concentration of America and the legislature is about the war going on. They wouldn't have time.
So, okay, you think that the legislature has approved of the war?
No, yes.
No, that's not correct.
No, hold on. Yes.
No, that's not
hold on. Yes. Hold on, because they cannot be talking of impeachment in a state of war, in a state of crisis. That is their idea.
No, that's not correct.
Even 9/11, 9/11, when the profile of George Bush was going down.
He went to war. He went to
yes, Iraq.
Okay.
Go and check. This is a part of image making.
Well, Mr. Agoma, I don't know where you have this information.
Well, I am telling you, I have.
What is the benefit? What is the benefit of having, a belligerent legislature, one that doesn't ever agree with the executive? Would that be confrontation?
That is the beauty of democracy.
Okay.
The people that invented
belligerence has become
not the belligerent, please, not the belligerent.
Confrontation.
Well, if you say it's close to it.
Okay.
Because that is the only way you can get the best out of what your democracy. If you continue to be in bed with the executive, then this will go wrong. The people that founded the democracy, they are not stupid.
People can't believe we're selling real gold jewelry for under $40. I get it. After 33 years of charging hundreds for these same pieces, even I can't believe these.
I mean, that is a given. They knew that power concentrated in the hands of one man is a danger. That's why they say power corrupts, absolutely. Can't you see it? Since the legislature have been kowtowing with the executive, have we had any reasonable outcome from it? And to say, yes, this is they are doing is giving us, we are getting.
Which legislature will return to civil rule in 1990?
Oh, it was that of Saraki.
Okay.
That of Saraki against Buhari. The man did well. In fact, he did marvelously.
The thing had to do with the personality of Buhari, who said, well, whatever they do, I don't.
No, Buhari was even more bullish than Tinubu.
Really?
Yes, he was more bullish. No, I said he was more bullish. Okay.
You remember that at some point,
nobody talked to him. Nobody talked to Buhari. In fact, you don't even mention Buhari's name.
Do you also remember that at some point when during the election, that produced Saraki and Ike Kwemadu, people were like, probably the president's man, say, who do you support? And what did the president Buhari say at that time? He said he's not interested, that they should elect their leadership. So how come he said he broke no nonsense?
Didn't you see how this this Saraki became what he became?
Okay.
Even in
because Buhari didn't interfere.
No, they wanted to listen. The Tinubu wanted to play a fast one, but Buhari beat them to it. I mean, Saraki beat them to it. Is that not what happened?
Okay.
And when he became the Senate president, he did marvelously well. Even when APC tried everything to impeach him, it didn't work.
Okay.
That was where we had men who had conscience. They did not agree with APC. Okay. They did not.
What about the Ken Namani Assembly?
Oh my God, that one did marvelously well. He was the one that came all the time. Pius did well too. He did well under Jonathan. Yes, he did well. Okay. He did well. So check all those people.
So what about Fabio?
Please don't mention his name. We have
to say, let's have your concluding
He's not supposed to be seen at
Let's have your concluding thoughts.
Fabio shouldn't have been dead.
Is that your concluding thoughts?
No, my concluding thought is that this Okoro, if we are not careful, this democracy may be truncated by Tinubu and his so-called master strategy. The way he's going about this thing is very, very wrong. He have signed an amendment outside the legislature and outside the one he signed before. You mean whenever the Senate discover something that is against the opposition, they will just run and put it in the Electoral Act. Is that how things are done? This one that they amended today about dual membership, was it part of what Tinubu signed? Please answer that.
That's why they call it an amendment.
Look, listen. Was it part of what he signed?
No, that's what they had to bring it in. Amending it means that you can incorporate new clauses.
Whenever it has been signed, please. Anything added is extraneous. Okay, it's not part of what was signed.
Okay.
That is the what I want to
the meaning of amendment.
When an amendment cannot be done by one person now, this is a public document for the whole country. You cannot go at the back and say,
"There's not one person that it is the national, the Senate."
When did it happen?
Okay,
when did it happen?
You send them there to go and present it.
When did it happen?
You have to drop.
No, this is not how democracy is practiced. Let them be very careful.
Okay, they should be careful.
That's what I'm saying.
National Assembly, the government. Mr. Agoma says you have to be very careful.
Yeah, tell them
how to practice democracy.
Okay.
Well, this is going to have to drop anchor on the show. We'll be speaking with Mr. Darlington Agoma, lawyer and political affairs analyst. Thanks for your presence and I appreciate it. I hope that we can do this some other time.
My pleasure.
On behalf of the backroom staff, technical director of Batman, the English engineer, and sound engineer, I'm Chukuma Okoro. Up next is issues with Ndena and Ndembuto. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock on the morning show. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of your
Hey, Anyway, guys, now here we go end up. It be like say what I noticed, I be like say Barrister Darlington himself don't dey tire for this whole thing because he doesn't talk as much as he used to. Does anybody notice? Nigeria can be very tiring and exhausting. Absolutely. But what do? We have to keep talking. And you guys are aware that the ambassadors that were recently nominated, that the countries that are rejecting the ambassadors because something about the timeline. And then are you guys aware that Nigerians living in Mexico, they have written to the Mexican government to reject Reno Mokri, to have him sent back. They should not accept him. Are you guys aware about that? Nigerians write letter to Mexico. Oh my God. Well, I'm happy because Nigerians are getting more and more aware, and people are beginning to understand geopolitics in real time. That whatever happens here affects you one way or the other. Nigerians don't write letter to Mexican president. You sign them. Can they wait till you sign? You say you sign, waiting. You sign the Mexican letter. He still talks. He has time. He's on. Okay, he was on radio. Or maybe because I don't usually follow when he's on. That's probably why. Okay. Because for some reason, I don't know. I just kind of feel like I've been seeing him before a lot more. I don't know. Maybe a lot of things have been happening in Nigeria. So it's kind of hard to keep up sometimes, So Nigerians don't send letter to Mexico. We are waiting for the response. I like it, to be honest. We are learning this politics by fire, by force. Anybody now who is still complacent about the politics and what's going on in the world and Nigeria, especially, you're on a long thing. You are on a long thing. So, and then for those of you when they plan to maybe visit America, from wherever it is you are, when are they careful, especially with the major airlines, because these people say they want attack, especially they want attack. Their focus na California. We don't know where. No say California get money yaburata, and Hollywood they there. The other flowery capital they here as well. So we don't know where they're going to target. So more that they pray for us when they California. California also. Anyway, India said you can't be sending ambassador when you have 2 years. Yeah, that's what India said. You're right about that. Other countries might follow. Yeah, there's World Cup in America. Are you sure that World Cup is going to hold? Because that's where they will now plan. No, do you know recently they caught somebody and they foiled the attack. The person carry explosive. Yeah. One of these their people, but they were able to foil it, right? So everybody is on their tippy toes. Everybody when they work they outside, you are looking. If you don't have to be outside, don't go outside. Don't have to be in the marketplace, don't be there. Everybody's head is on a swivel. People are more attentive and being careful. So it will be the worst years. Why do you say it will be the worst World Cup, Kenny? Why do you say that? Why you think say it will be the worst World Cup? The only reason why I would be very I'm hesitant about the World Cup is because of these attacks that they are threatening. That's the only reason why I think it will be worse. Right? But why do you think it's going to be the worst World Cup, Kenny? Educate me. So Naimo, and then meanwhile, kidnappers they TikTok that they celebrate their 53 million when they don't collect. They say alhamdulillah for inside the TikTok. Ew, Nigeria of fool. Ew. Meanwhile, even if you forge certificates, it's not nothing there wrong. In fact, the more you forge, the better for you in Nigeria as a politician. And if you thief money, nobody go ask you question. You have nothing to fear. All right? That's what they are saying. Okay? What's happen? What's happening? Okay. And then guess what? 10 years if you move your political party. So all those senators when they don't decamp from APC, PDP to APC, what go happen? Or is it only for opposition? It's only when opposition decamps. I'm curious how that law is going to play out. Or 10 years. They say 10 years. I think 10 years and then no fans will come to the games between. Yeah, exactly. You're right about that. Especially with ICE, especially, yeah. They know will come. Yeah, that's true. And then the threat also. Yeah. A lot of people are you now see the two Southwest Airlines where two people on two separate occasions as they enter mid-air, because now they get marshals now for almost all the flights, if not all the flights. The man stand up, they shout Allahu Akbar or whatever. Now what's it called? The marshals, they rush the man. In fact, passengers now if they rush the man. Okay, so the plane was forced to land. Another Southwest airline too. Something similar happened. And people rush them. They don't even let them finish within the talk. So that is happening more and more. So Mona, they careful. In fact, this is not a good time to travel right now between America or wherever it is you're going. I don't go advise anybody, but hey, what do I know? But may everybody just be careful out there, especially those traveling America to other countries or from other countries to America. You don't know which airline, and they always want target the major airlines. So that's that. And then malls, watch out for when you're in the malls, in the market busy areas, concert lovers when they like to be outside. Mona, watch out. Because now summertime, now there are a lot of concerts popping up here and there. So those are the kind of places they like to target. So anyway, my people, now here I go leave them. I fit come out later. Okay, today na Friday, na usually TGIF. Okay, I go try. If I not fit, then I go make am up tomorrow morning, early. So now here I go drop am. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day until I see you. Bye. Kene, thank you.